everything in Jin Shin Jyutsu is characterized as music. We don't talk about healing in Jin Shin Jyutsu. We talk about harmonizing. There
Wow.
are no there are no problems. There are only projects, because projects are fun and have an end date, according to Jin Shin Jyutsu. So let me talk about the music point that was so interesting. So in Jin Shin Jyutsu, one of the relationships is called bust line, waistline, and hip line. Bust line, waistline is where the ribs are, and hip line is where the hips are, basically where the it's the pelvis. Okay, and the bust line, the emotion, our emotions, the word for that is harmony. And waistline, right, the waistline is called the melody.
Wow.
And the butt and the hip line is rhythm. I understand how the hip line is rhythm, because that's how we perceive the contact with the ground, right? So so if the person is not dancing, is not happy in life, we call it, they're out of harmony. All projects, be it breast cancer, be it tumors, depression, all of that is, you're out of harmony, you're out of cosmic harmony.
Wow.
You know, so and we don't label, again, that comes back, we don't label. It's basically the so we just the whole of the energy, harmony, disharmony is, it's felt in the pulse reading, and that's from Chinese medicine. Yeah. So when we combine this, you know, we can, since you mentioned, you said that you looked at the students when they came in, right? You can look and see, right, what's happening in their lives. Okay, this is how we do it. Now, the inhale is the back of the body, and the exhale is the front. They call it the great oval. This is the second reason why I'm in Jin Shin Jyutsu, right? They talk about breath, and they say if you can breathe, you don't need Jin Shin Jyutsu. Yeah,
Okay.
so you know, so that's how I got into, like, you know, as a form of breath management. I noticed that when I started harmonizing things, right, the breath started to move. And third reason, all of the safety energy locks and all of the energy stuff, right, is on the hands. And so basically you kind of just hold a finger and the breath starts to release and the voice starts to improve, or because the underlying condition is starting to harmonize itself. And so, right, you can release the throat, for example. Okay, in the throat, right, going through the throat is this thing called the kidney meridian, which is the same as Chinese medicine. In the acupuncture, kidney meridian is harmonized by you know, putting stuff by needles, or by massage, right, or by herbs. In Jin Shin Jyutsu, same meridian. How we harmonize it is by holding the index finger. You hold the index finger and the throat releases, and then you're free to do whatever you want to do as a voice teacher, because you've harmonized
So
the
show
underlying.
me. So how would you do that?
You just, you know, you can just hold, you can make it a ring, or you can just hold, or you can, you know, and then you just keep it out of sight. So it's like people have been doing this, right? You've seen the classical singers doing that all the time, right? It's one of the postures of classical singing. Now you know why. Jin Shin Jyutsu is an innate art. So basically, when you know, you've seen this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's Jin Shin Jyutsu.
Really? So what does that do then?
So this is okay. This is harmonizing the center of the palm, which is the sixth depth of energy, which is like where everything is. So if you do that, right, just remember I said that mental, emotional, and physical stuff, they're all harmonized. They're all basically in this modality. They're all a result of this harmony of energy. It's not, the energy is not flowing, basically not inhaling, exhaling, right? That's what it is. It's not breathing. And so, you know, when you're doing that, everything's on the sixth depth of energy. Sixth depth has everything. So that deals with blockages of emotional, you know, if I can't emote, if I can't, physical, mental, and emotional blockages to expression. In
Yeah.
short, that's it. So that's the
Yeah.
center of the palm,
Yeah. You know
right?
what's weird about this? Sorry. You know what's weird about this? When I'm doing this, I'm actually feeling energy going through my arms.
Yeah.
I can feel it
Check
moving
your breath.
through my arms.
Yeah, check your breath. Check your breath. You don't have to lift it, okay? If you don't,
No.
if like this is, yeah, if you're using your latissimus dorsi to kind of lift the shoulder blade, you can lift. The point is the center of the palm, right? Put it on your lap, right, and that will. You can do this. Put it on your lap, right, and then you eliminate the use of the latissimus dorsi to remove to move the ribs. Okay, see if you get the same thing, and check your breath. Yeah,
That feels really calming.
yeah.
So what are
And if
some
you
of the
stress
other things?
that
What's that
wrist,
one?
yeah,
What's that one?
that that's called relaxed mind and nerves. It's for performance anxiety. So you can like, you see, the beauty of it, it's all hidden. Nobody needs to know. You're just like doing this like off stage, on stage, in character, and it's very, very portable, and it's very, very easy, but it's also very powerful. Okay, coming back to the part that I said about the bust line, waistline, and hip line, right?
Yes.
So Jin Shin is all about breath. I kid you not, it is about breath. The energy disharmonies show up in breath, right? Okay, so in somatic voice work, in voice teaching, right, we say, oh, limited movement in the chest, breathing from the chest, right, or limited movement in the ribs, or the abdomen is not moving, in deep breath, right? So that's a meaning, and those things actually tell you what's happening with that person at that moment. Okay, so for example, if the person is breathing to the upper chest, really shallow, right, this is the sort of breathing that you get when you have like a panic anxiety attack, right? And the cause is emotional. The cause is an emotional one. We call it a 13 block. The energy passes through 26 safety energy locks in the body. Unlike the acupuncture one, we have less. We only have 26. And a safety energy lock is like a ball of energy, and when it locks up, right, the flow of energy is not smooth, and that's when the disharmonies happen. So so if a person is breathing like that, that happens with the highly traumatized guys, right? But we all process differently, yeah. So just that's just a word of caution there, that basically when they're breathing in very shallowly, right, they have an emotional thing going on with their lives somehow. Yeah.
Yes.
And to harmonize that, you can either go to do safety energy lock 13, which is on the middle finger. So the whole class can be middle finger. You will get a deep breath, and that is that solves the breathing part of it all. Definitely resolves the breathing part of it all, and you just do your thing as usual, right? You can also do this. Let me bring you to this one. This is safety energy lock 10. It's the heart, right? But this one, okay, safety energy lock, this is the mudra. Mudra is a hand position, right? And it is for safety energy lock 10, that sits between the shoulder blades, shoulder blade. It's 10, right? That's kind of where that is. That is the hub of voice, all voice. And it is this safety energy lock is called the warehouse of abundance. And since we're talking about pandemic, wallets being affected very badly, right? It's called the warehouse of abundance. And I don't know how I got across this. It's also the hub of all voice. Not only that, it's the hub of all mental, emotional issues.
Wow.
So we're saying that safety energy lock, right, harmonized, right, will not only deal with all vocal issues, right? Sometimes it's you kind of deal with it in the long term, right? It will not only deal with all vocal issues, it will also deal with your issues of the wallet, as well as all mental, emotional issues. Safety energy lock 10 is on the index finger, which also deals with all muscular and endocrine things. Yeah. So it also deals with this. Tightness in the throat. That's the index finger. That's what it does.
That's incredible.
So some people, right, with anxiety issues that are emotional, right, you can deal with that. You can do you can do index finger, or you can do like middle finger, and that should resolve that. Hold the finger for the whole class. Your breath deepens. You get 2-in-1. You get the underlying resolution of the issues, as well as the basis for your voice class. So like, yeah, the next one is the waistline. If the person comes in, this is very Singaporean, that if the waistline doesn't move, limited movement in the ribs is the term that I learned from Somatic Voicework. That basically means it's a disharmony of the mind, overuse of mind, like overthinking. That's the reason why that goes up, and it will show up in breath management. It will show up in pitch. It will affect the pitch. Yes, disharmonies of the mind will affect the pitch. So you want to understand pitch deafness or tone deafness. That's possibly one of the underlying reasons for tone deafness.
Yeah.
A mental just something, a project of the mind, maybe, too much, bipolar, for example, too much things. Basically, the mind, right, goes like that. I'm doing a webinar on this. I'm attending one. Okay, I'm not doing one. That basically the mind is associated with digestion, right? So if there's any like mental project, right, you're looking at digestion and not, and yes, literal digestion from the enteric nervous system, yes, but also digestion of new thoughts, new ideas, new environmental stimuli that's so prevalent now. So that's shown up in the hip line. That's shown up in the waistline, right? Which shows up for us in voice class as an inability to sing in pitch.
That's incredible.